Look. And we should be live right now. Very good, very good. It says we're waiting for me. How can we be waiting for me when I've pressed go? Oh, it's just lagging a bit. Alright, we're good. We're in, Lulu, we're in. Alright, so I have some selenite crystal, my favourite gemstone ball. I've got selenite. I've got lapis lazuli wand. I have Triskelion spiral. All of these are for energy work and the intention of the energies that I want to call in today. I have my rose quartz guardian angel. I've got a bit of blue kyanite. I've got prenite. I have atlantisite, and I have danburite. So this is a beautiful, beautiful stone, danburite. It was gifted to me by a great friend of mine. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. We have this as well. It's like, it's a type of kiwi jasper, that's what it's called. I forgot what it was then. Kiwi jasper. So we've got all of these beautiful energies. So it's carved into the shape of a extraterrestrial, because we're calling into these galactic energies, or rather they're calling into us rather than us calling out to them, so to speak. Okay, so let me just, so came across this today. So it's a bit of information about a very rare planetary alignment which is coming up on the 25th of January. So that is a matter of days away. So we're on the 18th of January now. This is on the 25th, so rare planetary alignment. So it says this is the first major cosmic event of the year, as Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn align in a rare planetary harmony, creating a powerful energetic portal for awakening, transformation, manifestation, the usual good sort of energies that we like. These are the energies which are coming in. And the good thing about when these big portals happen, you can sit in those energies and you can connect with the energies even before they do hit, and they will linger even after that date of the 25th of January. So that's a good thing about these portals. So don't feel like, oh bugger, I've missed it, or something like that, or bugger, I'm going to be working on the 25th, so I'm not going to be able to tune in. So it's good. We're going to connect with spirit, we'll connect to those energies, and you can do this with or without me, but it's always nicer to do group work. Okay, so I'll read what else it says. This celestial convergence marks the closing of karmic cycles in all areas of life, relationships, careers, personal growth, offering opportunity to release these old patterns, heal old wounds, step into a new phase of soul evolution, yada yada yada. So these are all of the stuff that we like. Hello, Kelly Michael. Kelly Michael says hi. Hello. And Dapik Mangala says, I'm in Indonesia. Welcome. I'm very pleased to have you both here on this channel and on this live stream. So this live stream is for, as I was saying, it's to do with this big portal that we're coming into, but I also want to pull in some guidance from our spiritual teams. So our spiritual teams are made up of so many different elements. We have our ancestors, so they're our loved ones who have gone beyond the veil. So those are what I mean when I say ancestors, if you didn't already know. So our family who are beyond the veil or beyond the rainbow bridge, whatever you want to call it, in heaven, our family. So we can connect with these energies, and they're always around us. Just because we cannot see, not not many people can see spirits or see what is non-physical. Not many people see that, so I don't claim to be able to see like spirits and apparitions, because everybody has different spiritual gifts. So clairvoyance isn't really one of mine. I would say I'm more clairaudient or claircognizant. So that means clairaudient means sometimes I hear spirit messages. So, or claircognizant means that it's just this a powerful knowing. So all of a sudden you just know something and you don't know how you know it, because it's just been dropped onto you. So we call this a download. So you receive a download from spirit or from any form of positive being. So benevolent being. This is what I mean when I say the message gets dropped in. All right, so I'm gonna go right in here and pull a card for us. Oh dear. Okay, so I should have seen this one come in. So the card that we have here is the Tall Greys. Okay, so the interesting thing to know is that whenever there's some form of big portal where there's people who are connecting with or wanting to connect with these huge portals, the other side, so when the light workers, starseeds, when we're very active, when we're doing our best to bring love, positivity, light, when we're trying to flood the earth with it, when we're all being active, then it gets the attention of the other side. So like this is so these are the Greys. So they're on the other side of the paradigm. They're the negative ones. So where we're trying to bring in freedom, bring in love, they just want things to stay the way it is, where oppression, basically. So the Tall Greys are all about oppression. So basically it just means that they're kind of, along with all of the other good energies that are coming in. So at this time, with all of these planetary alignments, and with the other good energies that are coming in and looking in on us, it also means that that energy is around as well. So they're also going to be looking in on us, spying, so to speak. But the important thing is just wear your protections, have your protective crystals around, focus on visualizing bubbles of light, throwing on a cloak of light, or a cloak of stars is one of my favorites. Just visualizing that very quickly, and these are forms of spiritual or psychic protection. Okay, so it says Tall Greys, these are utilitarian, they're organized and intimidating. So that is one of the energies. Okay, so don't worry, that's not the energy that I'm wanting to tap into today. So that is just just so you know in advance that there's going to be good energies around, and there will be bad energies or negative energies. So it's like anything else, you've got to take the good with the bad. When I say take it, I don't mean you've got to connect with it, I just mean that it's around. Okay, so next I want to pull, I've got my Mythic Oracle deck here because I feel like these want to connect. I've not read with them in a while, but I feel like they're gonna have some very fitting messages for us from Spirit. Okay, so just connecting to your higher self, to your spirit guides, connecting with the ascended masters, our teachers, calling upon the angels, the deities. Please give us guidance for these upcoming portals. Okay. Interesting enough. So the card that we have is Persephone, and that's interesting. If you watched my last video, Persephone popped up on a different deck. So this is showing big proof that Persephone's energy is around us now, and it's the message that goes with this card is awakening. So there can be different types of awakening. So there's like spiritual awakening, or there is awakening from, what do they call it, innocence. So like when your eyes are fully opened to like all of everything that's out there in the world, like when you're a child, you have all of this innocence and you just think that everything is right with the world. There's so much magic and your parents are keeping you safe. So when that veil is lifted and you realize that, yeah, some of that magic will always be there, but as well as that magic, there is other things in the world, like there's other energies which are not so pleasant and not so kind. So this is what we mean by an awakening. So that is one form of the awakening. It may also represent a spiritual awakening as well. So there's that energy here for us. So that is interesting. So that would also be it would be expected with such a rare planetary alignment, with all of the alignments. It would bring activations for awakening of our psychic faculties or abilities. When I say psychic abilities, I just mean natural gifts that everyone can tap into. It doesn't mean that, oh, I'm a psychic, so that means that I have visions all day long and I have dreams and which come true all of the time and deja vu, yada yada yada. Being psychic just means that you're a human being and that you've tapped into the natural gifts that we all have. Okay, so next I'm going to pull a tarot card. So the tarot card, as opposed to the oracle cards, the tarot is very straightforward and very to the point, and not so flowery. Whereas oracle cards, they'll pass you on a message, but it sometimes comes around as a bit vague. But tarot cards are not like that. They will give you the precise message and it will come out blunt and it will come out sassy and it will put you in your place, sort of thing sometimes. But when you get one of the good tarot cards, like there's certain cards in the deck that when you pull them out, then you can just breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, okay. So a card just jumped out at me. But it's interesting, this card came up in a recent reading as well. So it's interesting that all of these energies are coming back round in circles. So this is the Six of Cups. So cups in a reading. Hello, Ben. You're so right. I love the cards. Thank you, Ben. So cups in a reading, they're representative of emotions. So when there's a lot of cups, so in tarot, the cards, these cards go up to 10. So this is 6 of cups. So it's quite a lot of cups. So it means emotions may be running quite high. But the specific meaning of this card is reminiscing. So I've been quite guilty of this myself recently. It's probably why the cards jumped up again. But it can mean like reminiscing with family, friends. It can mean a blast from the past. So you may very soon come across somebody who you've not met in such a long time, and it just may seem like divine timing that all of a sudden that they're just right in front of you and you've not seen or heard from them in yonks. So this is what this card is representing. And it yet again, this could also mean like a connection on spirit and on the etheric level as well. So you may find that you're bumping into like a spirit guide or some form of being in your dreams that you've met before in your dreams, but you may not have met them in this physical plane of existence on Earth. So it can have many layers there. So take that however you will. However that resonates with you, take that message. Okay. I'm not very good, but I'm getting better. I'm learning a lot from you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, that was the 6 of Cups. Let's see what other tarot cards want to pop out, and let's see if I can actually pull a card without it jumping out of the deck like it's been doing recently. Okay. So Spirit, what have you got for us? Marvelous. I'm really pleased to see this card. So like what I was saying earlier, like there's some cards in a reading which are so positive and they're so happy, and they just make you breathe a sigh of relief. So this is the Strength card. So this card may represent it may represent a Leo if you're looking at the star signs of people who are in your life. So it could represent a Leo, but it also represents like a very strong person, someone with strength and resilience, and even more so than that they know. So a lot of us, we walk around thinking that we're just kind of like we're victims to the outside world, like, because in life, in this whole matrix of what we call life, we're forever having our power taken away from us. But this card is a reminder that it's just an illusion that our power is being stripped away from us, and outside influences may try they may try in many different ways to strip our power away, but we will always have this innate strength and godliness within us. It's always going to be there, and you can always tap into it. It's like when you get an adrenaline rush, you hear stories about people when they suddenly find like strength to like lift cars up off of loved ones who have been hurt and been in car accidents and stuff like that. This is what we're talking about, this like innate strength. No problem, Ben. So yeah, that is the Strength card, so it's a brilliant message. Okay, so yeah, just remembering to tap in, reach within when you're feeling like you're weak, or that you're overwhelmed, or that you don't have what it takes, just reach within, because you have such a well of strength within. We all do, but we just don't always think to tap into it. And some of you may say, I don't know where to look. Where would I even think to tap into this strength? But that's the thing about such like this divine spark within us. Like when you truly need it, you just need to turn inwards and just kind of like call upon your higher self, call upon whatever deities, call upon your spirit guides, angels, ask them to help you. Say, please give me strength, let me overcome this obstacle. Just it's all about the setting your intentions. If you have the intention to tap into this hidden strength and resilience, then you're halfway there. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. So back with the Mystic Martians deck. Bye, Ben. Okay, so back with the Mystic Martians deck, we have the the greys again, but the shorts. So this is a very interesting. So we're getting a duality here, because we have the tall greys, and now so I've picked two cards from the same deck, so they've been shuffled very well, and somehow we've got like two opposing cards. So we've got the tall greys, we got them first, and now we've got the short greys. So the short greys are the opposite. So the short greys, they're kind of they're benevolent. So it says they're timid, misunderstood, and shy. But where the tall greys are kind of victimizers, the short greys are usually the beings who are being victimized. So they're much like us. They work with us a lot as well. This is why you when you see movies, you always see images that look like this. So that's kind of like when people think of aliens, then they usually visualize a short grey with the like big sort of head and the sort of saucer-like eyes. So those are the short greys. So the energies that they're bringing like the opposing energies. Again, this is all about the alignment that we're coming into. So with the planetary alignment, we're gonna get like dualities and harmonies and opposing forces coming into play. Okay. So they're kind of like very servile, or kind of like spiritual servants. I'm trying to think of a better word for it, but they kind of want to help people, as opposed to the tall greys who don't want to help. They just want to use and abuse. But the short greys, they're very empathetic of our race, and they will help us. Okay. And they don't want to see like the abuse and the circles of abuse that they've gone through. They don't want to see the same thing happen to us. Okay. So going back to the Mythic Oracle. Okay. So yeah, I find that very interesting that those two cards have popped out. They're the galactic energies that are around us at the moment, or as we come into this planetary alignment, the greys. And it's interesting, look at, that's literally it. I've just noticed that this gemstone is literally carved in the image of a grey, a short grey. So we will, in a bit, we will have a little activation. We'll ask the short greys to come through with a positive and benevolent light activation for us. Okay. As an activation, at this, as we come into the planetary alignment, we'll get lots of activation. So if we can kind of get an activation which will kind of prepare us for it, then it sounds like a good plan to me. So the card which I pulled out is Hermes, or Mercury, as he's known to the Romans. So Hermes, he represents travel and communication. So if you look at the image, he's carrying the caduceus. So that is his winged wand. So it has like a snaky pattern wrapping around the wand. So Hermes, so there's an emphasis here on traveling and communicating with each other. And as far as I'm aware, that there's not any Mercury in retrograde, as far as I'm aware. And interestingly enough, Mercury, I'm sure, will be one of the planets. Let me just read this. I'm sure Mercury will be in the planets which, yeah. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn are the planets which are coming into alignment on the 25th of January. So this card is representing one of the planets which are coming into alignment. So yeah, that's one of the perfect cards to pop out for us. So I'm actually going to read the book's message on that one to see what other nuggets of information are hidden within there for us. So it's number 27. So the message is, Hermes is the guardian of those who travel, of those who cross borders and boundaries. These include both physical borders of home, city, country, the inner borders of thought, feeling, imagination and experience. Okay, this is a time of new worlds opening up to you. That's interesting, because if you look at the title, the title of this video or live stream, I wrote down that things moving into place, because that is the message that I felt coming through from Spirit. Things are moving into place for us. Things are coming into alignment. So this is kind of verifying this for us, this card. So it's a time for expanding your horizons and having new experiences. It's also time for expanding your awareness through art, music and literature. Philosophy and history may also open new worlds for you as you expand your personal understanding of life. If you have been feeling restless, that there is more to life, more to learn and experience, you haven't known where to start where you are. Start the journey now. There are endless worlds to explore, and it's time to open up, investigate new ideas, cross the borders of what you previously knew to be your reality. There is so much more to discover, uncover and see. The gateways of knowledge perception are open to you now. So take a deep breath and dive in. So I feel like that's a very powerful message, and that definitely is resonating very strongly with the planetary alignment portal opening up for us. So that is kind of underlining the message of the alignment and of all of the activations, etc., and how we best to navigate this planetary alignment. Okay, so I'm going to pull another card if you just give me one moment. So I'll pull another from the Mystic Martian Oracle. So these are all galactic energies, so I'm going to see what other galactic energies that want to come through for us. Because we have like times like these, we have even more galactic star races coming closer to Earth when we have like these big portals and alignments. Okay, so jumped out at me, I've got the Alpha Centaurans. So this is the card. Okay, so the Alpha Centaurans, that's interesting. So this is the energy that's coming through. So on the card it says foresight, planning and strategy, and that's very interesting. If you take those three words there, foresight, planning and strategy, they're very mercurial, so they resonate very strongly with the last card we had, which was Mercury and Hermes. So I feel like there is an accordance there, or there is a resonation there. Okay, so the Alpha Centaurans, I'm going to read what it says about this star race. Okay, because I've not actually worked a lot with this race before, so they're kind of quite new to me as well. Because as you can see from my channel, I usually work with the Lyrans. I do sometimes work with Pleiades as well, and Arcturians, but have not yet worked with the Alpha Centaurans. So what number is it? So it's number 2 is the card, number 2. So it's page 11. So Alpha Centaurans. So the card meaning is strategy, negotiation, speculation, tactics, foresight, hindsight, designing, planning, scheduling, time management, focused, direct. Okay. So that's interesting. So they're very positive qualities that we could tap into and emulate at this time. So thinking of planning our days ahead, making plans, making lists, really focusing on how we're going to be spending our time. This is what the Alpha Centaurans are going to come through and help us with. Okay. I'm going to pull one more of the Mythic Oracle. See what other messages want to come through. Nothing like it. Okay, interesting. So if you look at that image, what's interesting, if you look at that image, it looks like there is actually an eclipse happening in that image. So it's similar to like a planetary alignment, but there's an eclipse happening in that image. So the image is, or the card is, of Hephaestus. So he is the the Olympian maker of fine pieces of like armor, weaponry. So his message is all to do with working and artistry like around practical things rather than just whimsical artworks. So he's like the patron saint of hard work in a way. So let's have a look at what it says in the book about him as to the message. So it's number 22. So it says, if Hephaestus has shown up in your cards today, it's a signal that something wonderful will happen when you do the work you love the most. Hephaestus is a craftsman who imbues his work with love, and this is a creative time where the focus is on crafting and creating true wonders in your life. This does not necessarily relate to the work you get paid to do, but rather the work you love to do. It may be a business you are creating, a project you're working on, or an idea you are crafting into existence. Now is the time to pay special attention to the inspiration you are receiving. Crafting takes a special kind of focus that requires you to be sensitive to the needs of the creation. If you understand that the creation has its own consciousness, you must be willing to craft in service to the creation's need rather than your own, allowing your work to be filled with magic, life and wonder. There may be a lot of hard work required at this time, but love, passion, devotion to what you do is also present. This is a magical time for crafting, building, and soon you will need to be a warrior for your work as you take it boldly into the world. So that's a very interesting message. So go out there and make some beautiful creations is Spirit's message, which is quite interesting because in the back of my mind recently I've been thinking of getting wire wrapping again and creating some new pendants. So if you have a look at the anklet I'm wearing, I make stuff like that, wire wrapped copper pendants with crystals and gemstones. So this is Hephaestus's way of putting a thumbs up to that idea, get crafting again to myself and to you as well. So whatever your creative outlet is, get crafting again, get making things, get busy with your hands. Okay. So now if you just relax, take a moment to relax and focus on grounding yourself. So I've picked up the Kiwi Jasper and I have the Atlantisite and Danburite in my hand. So we're just going to take a moment to receive an activation from the Greys and from the Ascended Masters who will oversee this. So I'm going to call upon Lady Nada as she's been close by recently, working her magic. So Lady Nada, please come through for us for an activation which is appropriate to each of our needs and to our personal paths. And short Greys, please come through with guidance for grant us greater understanding and compassion for each other. And more enterprise I'm hearing. Greater enterprise. So show us how we can put our creative works out into the world with more zeal. Okay, Spirit, please come through. Give us an activation, an appropriate activation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So taking a moment to look inwards, to take a hold of the divine spark within, to be coherent and present here and now in this moment, to reflect and contemplate the oneness of all things. As the planets do come into alignment, so do all beings, all souls in the multiverse. We are all one, and we'll be reminded that again and again. Thank you, Spirit, for this activation. So bringing our awareness back into the room that we're in, feeling contact with the ground, with the chair that we're sat upon. Taking a couple of breaths in and out. And focus on grounding our energy into Earth, connecting to Mother Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for granting us stability, for bearing our burden. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Universe. Thank you, Short Greys. Thank you, Lady Nada, Ascended Master. Thank you to all of our spiritual team and all other benevolent beings who have been near to us and will continue to stay around us as we progress through this portal of the planetary alignment. So thank you all for tuning in. Please check out some of the other videos, and I send you love and brightest blessings. Thank you.